This video is by Straight Goods News, SGNews.ca.
Thank the Algonquin Nation for having us on their territory this morning to have this press conference. I also want to thank the people that sacrificed a lot and that brought us here today. A lot of these issues that we've been talking about over the last months have been around for a long time. And I'm pretty saddened, as I said in French, I'm pretty saddened to hear from the mouth of a First Nations person say, we want our rightful place in this country. This is Canada, and this is 2013. That shouldn't be so. We shouldn't beg to have our rightful place in this country. So we need to move forward from here on. I've been in this business for the last 30 years. I've been in negotiations, I've been at blockades, I've been at discussions, high-level discussions, and I believe in dialogue, I believe in discussions, I believe in negotiations, and we will get there if there is a political will. And don't forget, the first modern treaty that was signed in the early 1970s, the James Bay North Quebec Agreement, however complex and complicated this treaty is, and it is 500 pages long. It took us 1 year to negotiate the treaty. 1 single year. Why? Because there was an urgency and because there was political will on both sides. And this is what is required from the Prime Minister today, and is how we're going to be able to move forward. The NDP, the official opposition in the House of Commons, believes in these points that are raised in the Declaration of Commitment. These are issues that have been part of our policy for a very long time, and I believe that just last week, our leader, Thomas Mulcair, the leader of the opposition, renewed that commitment to have that nation-to-nation relationship with First Nations in this country. And that's the road we have chosen in the past. That is the road, and this is the blueprint for the future of our relations. Thank you very much. Well, let me add to that the fact that, as I mentioned, I've been at this for 30 years, and these are issues that I've dealt with over the years. And I can tell you one thing: when there is political will to change things, we can move pretty fast when it is necessary. And I'll give you the example of the latest agreement that we signed with Quebec back in 2002. Everyone thought in Quebec that the Cree and the government of Quebec would never get along. Everybody thought that. But where are we today? We're in pretty good terms, a very good relationship. Why? Because we came to a point in this struggle, in that fight that lasted over 2 decades, we came to a point where a court, and that's why it's important that we talk about what the law of the land is today with respect to Aboriginal rights and treaty rights. It took the Superior Court of Quebec to say the terms of the Forestry Act of Quebec are incompatible with the provisions of the James Bay North Quebec Agreement. That got the Premier of Quebec moving at that very moment. It took that. So is that what we're waiting for? And let me add to what was just mentioned. International law with respect to Indigenous peoples around the world, 370 million people, has also evolved. And a vast majority, an overwhelming majority of countries have now approved the UN Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. And the norms that are there are minimum standards that all countries should respect and have endorsed the UN Declaration. Canada finally came on board not too long ago. Thank you very much. But let's move on from there. Those are the international norms now, and we need to move forward from there on.
Just on that, Terry, as well.
Yeah, just as a follow-up to Mr. Saganash, why is your leader not up there with you today?
Basically because Mr. Mulcair is the leader of the opposition, and he's busy. He was busy today. I, as spokesperson, I was appointed last week. I have taken up this file with a lot of commitment since I started last week on this file, and I've had discussions with some of the chiefs that are involved in this declaration of commitment, and that is essentially my role. He has asked me to play this role, and I've taken up that role very seriously.